evening, gang. It's a Monday night, Monday the 25th of January 2021. Welcome along to tonight's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from Bracknell here in Royal Berkshire. Very good evening, chat. Let me just turn my little light on. I forgot to put my light on again, as usual. There we are. We burst into lightness. Mind you, talking about lightness, as I mentioned on the radio show earlier this morning, it's surprising how quickly it's starting to get light in the morning now. Because last week, when I was getting up, 7:15, I generally get up in the morning, and it was absolutely pitch black. This morning, you could just see the light coming over the horizon. Next week it'll be like bright. Isn't that good? Summer is only around the corner. Now, you may have seen a picture of a bath, boys and girls, with someone in it actually. I think that's just the bath there. There's the bath. It's all very sad. Right? It's very, very sad. Someone got stuck in that bath. Have you any idea who it was? Any idea who got stuck in the bath? Go on, let us know. Now, if you're new to the show, a warm welcome along to you. There is a chat box for you to talk to each other. I don't go into the chat box at all. If you want to talk to me, please send a message on the text, or you can use email, okay? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address, or easiest way to do it is use the text number above. It's just a normal text number. It's not premium rate at all, okay? So it's just the same as you texting your friends, texting me. It comes up on a little phone here. Not for phone calls. There is a separate number for phone calls, which I'll be opening up very shortly for anyone who might want to call in this evening. But the text number is 07551 259 675. Okay, 07551 259 675. If you'd like to send in a text this morning, it'd be very nice to hear from you. Okay, any idea who got stuck in the bath? Come on, I'll read you the story in a minute. Let's say good evening to some of you. Good evening to George Bond. Hello to Rachel Wheatland, Lee Toby, Diane Jeb. Good evening, Diane. There's Shania. She missed the show this morning. Very disappointing, Shania. Very disappointing. It's not like you not to be there. I do feel these things. I do sort of take these things personally from certain people, such as yourself, darling, when you're not there. But on the other hand, it's not like you pay a lot of attention to anything anyway, is it, Shania? Let's be honest with you. Because last week, don't worry, I'm not going to show you the photograph. I'm not going to show the photo. Hello, Mark Bowles. How are you, Mark? Hello, darling. I was thinking of you just as I was moving some crusty tissues from my bedside cabinet there. Good morning, Mark. Oh, good evening, Mark. Nice to see you. As I just picked up the tissues and put them in the bin, and I thought, I wonder if Mark Bowles will be there tonight. Funny what you think of when you're doing stuff, isn't it, really? Anyway, yes, Shania. So last week we showed Shania, and she was doing some work, apparently producing, assisting to produce Vexis's Humphreys, very worldwide, extremely popular with millions of viewers, almost as many listeners as me, tuning in, clicking on tune-in apps all over the world. She was producing his show, okay, last week. But that was last week, and we move on, Shania. Do you know what I mean? I don't like to go on and on. I'm not known for going on and on. I'm really not. And I wouldn't bring that up again, because I think that would be very unfair to talk about something like that. However, unfortunately, your father seems to have got you another picture of you today, and there she is again. At the weekend, sitting there in the corner, looking as bored as anything. I can't believe it. Look at her sitting there. You can just about see that little face. Is that a yawn? Is that you look like you're trying to stop a yawn coming out of your face there, my darling. Look at her sitting there on the mobile phone again, doing nothing, while poor old Dad, I mean, look at all that, what is all that writing on the screen there he's got? Have you got one of those play-out lists that everything's timed? Oh, blimey, I can't be doing with anything like that, I'm afraid. You must be trying. What I've got is a load of players. You know, it's like, when I'm doing my radio show in the morning, it's like I've got 10 CD players in front of me, and each one has got a song ready to go, and I just hit play, literally a list of 10 of them, and I just choose it as I go along. Nothing's timed here, dear. I don't even know what the time is. What is it? What is it now? 6 o'clock in the morning? I've no idea what the time is. All right. So thank you, Shania. Do try. Look, just have another quick look there. Look at her. I mean, what does she do? Does she do anything, darling? I mean, I don't know, Shania. I mean, I really don't, my love. I don't know what to make of it all, really. I thought you was a hard-working person. I hope you don't fall asleep on the altar when poor father needs to dry his hands from the wine and water, my love. When he's washed his hands with the water, does it washes his hands? Washes it? Hello? Which, you know, he got no towel. How's he going to dry his hands? Do you remember even to light the candles? Is the one candle lit and the other one's not lit? Shocking state of affairs, dear. Absolutely shocking. There we are. Let's have a look at some of your texts then. Once again, don't forget you can text in tonight, 07551 259 675, or email chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. We had a birthday email coming actually already this evening, and it's Royston's birthday today, which is Adam's other half. Happy birthday to you, Royston. And he's, oh my God, what's that at the bottom of your email there? Engineering excellence. What's all those pictures? That's like hieroglyphics you've sent me, dear. Pictures of screwdrivers and a torch and mobile phone and a clock, electrical lightning bolts and things. Could you wish Royston a happy birthday? He's 26 stone today. I beg your pardon, 26 years old today. So happy birthday, Royston. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Royston. Happy birthday to you. All right, Royston, happy birthday, darling. Many happy returns of the day. All right, my love. Happy birthday to Royston today. Hello to Dylan Hutchinson. Good evening, Dylan, who says, evening, Chris. Just popped in for the first 30 minutes or so of the show. Hope you're doing well. Love the new clock and the background music. Thank you, Dylan. And Gary Ross is there. He wants to know, is the person that's stuck in the bath, is it Frank Lampard? No, it's not Frank Lampard. It's not Frank Lampard. Anyone else want to guess tonight? Anyone else want to guess? Who was it, the picture of someone stuck in a bath? Rather foolishly, I don't have the original picture put on the screen. I don't know why I didn't. I've got a picture of the person who was stuck in a bath, but not the actual picture that I put up to advertise tonight's show. Rather foolishly. A little error on my part. Anyone else want to know who's stuck in that bath? No, it's not Mark Bowles. It's not Mark Bowles. Mark Bowles wouldn't be stuck in the bathroom. He'd be locked in the bathroom as he was here, boys and girls. He would be locked in the bathroom. Any idea who's stuck in the bathroom today? Thank you very much to Weird City Citizen, who sent a £5 super chat already so early in the show. And there is a new super chat prize this week. I wasn't going to bother, actually, but someone sent in a £5. Someone, it wasn't a super chat, was it? A PayPal yesterday. If you can't do super chat, you can always send in a PayPal, okay? And then if you send in a £1 tip, okay? If you send in a £1 tip, I will give you a free raffle ticket, okay? For this week's prize. Gary Ross sent £1 last night, so thanks very much, Gary. And when he sent £1, I thought, oh well, I better give away a prize because I can't just take money. Seriously, I can't. I'm funny like that. I can't take money and I can't ever ask for money. I was talking to my sister about this, I think, earlier. I said, do you know what? If I had to ask for money to do this, I wouldn't do it. End of story. I just wouldn't do it. I have a real problem with that. It's mad, isn't it? When I was DJing, right, not English people, because we're not used to doing that, people would come up, whether it was karaoke night or DJing, and they'd say, oh, could you do this for us? Yeah, no problem at all. There you go. Oh, what's that? It's a little tip. No, I'm fine. And it took me a while, but it was the Americans that kind of forced me to take it because they considered it rude not to. So in the end, I did start accepting tips, but funnily enough, only from the Americans. And there was a Saudi bloke once from Saudi Arabia. £20 to play my record. Let's have a few more. I was practically ready to get back or get on a plane and take my DJing over there. Is it 20 quid every time you play a record? That ain't bad, is it? You know, maybe that and a free tank of petrol. So that's all about the super chats. Okay, you can either do a super chat for the YouTube. Every time you send £1 as a tip, I'll give you a free raffle ticket. Or you can do it by PayPal. That's my PayPal up there. And if you do it by PayPal as well, same thing, you get a free raffle ticket. So let me give 5 free raffle tickets to Weird City Citizen and This week's or this session's 2 weeks we run it usually over. This fortnight's super chat prize is oh, what? That hasn't worked, has it? Hang on a minute, let me just put it on there. Oh, what a shame that didn't work, dear. I do spend a great deal of effort trying to do my stuff. Now, where is it? Super chat, come on, where are you gone now? It's there somewhere. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Our little super chat. There you go. There's the super chat prize. I know you're disappointed. It's not me. It's not the star. It's not the clock. It's the backdrop behind me. The backdrop behind me is the super chat prize. Okay, that's what's going to be the super chat prize in 2 weeks' time. Let me just write a few tickets out. Weird City. Weird City. And Weird City says, super swanky jacket. I love it. Where did you get it? Well, actually, I got this from the Ralph Lauren. It's either Ralph Lauren. No, I think it's Ted Baker. No, it's Ted Baker. Yeah, look at the lining. Isn't it nice? I got this from the Ted Baker outlet store in Oxford. Bicester Village. Bicester Village, spelt Bicester. Bicester Village. And it's a few years old now. And it was on sale. Usual price, 300 quid. I got it for 75 quid. It's not bad, is it? And this is quite a thick one. This is really thick. Bit like Rupert the Bear. Rupert the Bear. Everyone knows his name. There you go. 5 free raffle tickets for you, darling. And once again, that's the prize. If that comes up now. Yes, it does. That's the prize. Look, do I look thick? I think I look a bit thinner there, to be honest. Look a bit thinner. And that backdrop is the prize. And let me put the tickets in here. They go in there. And here it is, waiting to be won. There will, of course, be a couple of very small holes in there that you probably won't notice where the clock went through it at the back there. So thanks very much for your tip there, Weird City Citizen. To your text again, hello to John Parrish, who says it's our 17th anniversary this Thursday. How wonderful. Will you let us know on Wednesday as well, John? So please give Sherry a shout out. Hello, Sherry. And John, when I grow too old to dream the anniversary waltz with you. I don't know the words to that one. Perhaps I should learn it, maybe. A very good evening to Maureen. Is it Gemma Collins stuck in the bath, says Maureen. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And here she is laying down after being something's not quite right with that picture, as you can see. She seems to have lost her middle. And let's be honest, that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? Gemma Collins has lost her stomach on that. Perhaps she's been to one of those fat sucking out places. What are they called? What's that called? Fat sucking out. Where they put that nasty metal pipe under your stomach and they suck away all the fat, and then they sell it to a local restaurant what does chips. I'll read you the story in a second. Jason Hughes, hello. How does a whale get stuck in the bath, says Jason Hughes. George Bond, was it you stuck in the bath? I don't have a bath, George. I don't have a bath. I've got a power shower. I don't like baths. I think it's horrible to just lay there and in all that dirty water. You know, and sometimes you want to wee. Do you wee in the bath, George, when you're in the bath? Is that something that you do? I would imagine you do something like that. You know, there's a couple of people in here, to be honest, on watching this show at the moment. Oh, it would not surprise me in the slightest if they were the sort of people that weed in the bath. Gang, if any of you are watching on Facebook Live, you will leave us here. You need to join us on YouTube for the whole show, okay? Go to youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK or type into your address bar unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk and you can join us there, and there's a chat box for you to talk to each other if you want to. More people are not in the chat box than are, but there's a few in there and they like to talk to each other. You might want to join in there. Okay, just go to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, join us there now, and we'll see you later on Facebook Live. Bye bye. All right, Where were we now? Paul in Cornwall. Hello to Paul, who's setting up his Stream Deck. It's crazy. 4 hours. That's a long time to set up. What do you mean Stream Deck? What do you mean? Oh, you've got... Have you got one of these? Have you got one of these? Look, can I show you this? This is my box of buttons. This is how I change all the pictures. I have shown you. Yes, I know I've shown you before, but certain people haven't seen it. Look, Martin and Sharon bought me this for Christmas. That's the big one. Look at all the stuff on there. Look, that's all. And I just push a button. You see. Now, where am I? I'm on there now. For example, I can bring up the email. Just push that there. Watch. Isn't that good? I can bring up the PayPal. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's the phone number. That's the phone number there. Phone number, which will be opening shortly. It's not open yet. If you ring it now, no one will answer. Okay, you can bring up the PayPal. It's great, isn't it? And little videos and pictures. And Gemma Collins is on there. She won't be on there very long, my love. She'll be coming straight off there after the show, dear. Can't have Gemma Collins. I mean, barely got her on the button. I put Gemma Collins on the button, and this thing came up and says overweight. Funny, isn't it? But yes, you're quite right, gang. It is Gemma Collins. The story in The Sun is Gemma Collins has revealed she got stuck in her bath after gorging on pigs in blankets. Pigs in blankets. And Scotch eggs as well, unfortunately. Yes, the larger-than-life reality star blamed the requirement to have a substantial meal with alcohol for piling on the pounds in recent weeks. Well, I'm sorry, dear. I mean, how many of them did you eat? How many lives had to lay down their little lives? How many animals had to lay down their little lives so that you could have all those pigs in blankets? It's disgusting. Pigs in blankets, pig in a bath. Same sort of thing, really, isn't it? Except you can't eat a bath. Just imagine if Gemma Collins was the feast at one of those weddings. You could have her stuck on a long trellis table, couldn't you? With an apple in her mouth. Like that. Would you shave her first? You know, all that blonde... I mean, is that her hair? Is it a wig? I don't know. See, she's very clever with the wigs, I must say. It's amazing. I'm looking at the picture of Gemma there. Is it still there? Oh, it's just still here. Is this the... I don't know if this one's got her... yes, she has. There you go. If you look carefully there, I think she's very clever, right, in that she's managed to highlight just the bit of the hair where the parting is. Isn't that amazing, girls? I mean, it must have taken her hours to do that. Hours and hours to do that. Thank you very much. Adam the Plumber says, was it Gemma Collins who got stuck in a bath? Yes, indeed it was. Chris Woodhouse, good evening, Chris, who says, was it Katie Price? No, it wasn't Katie Price, darling. If she was in the bath, all the water would disappear inside her, wouldn't it? So it'd be one leg over one side of the wall and one leg over the other side. I'm sorry, I can only speak as I find. If you think I'm lying, tell me. If you think I tell no lies, my love. No lies. Lies at all. Thank you very much. Jason says, I've just been told everyone in the chat that the fairy sat in front of the backdrop doesn't come with it. No, I'm afraid not, my darlings. I don't come with that Super Chat prize. There it is again. I know you're disappointed. Would you expect... This is why Mark Bowles hasn't sent anything in, you see. Because he got very excited. I bet his finger was on that button ready to send me £1. Right? And then he found out it was the backdrop and not me that's available as the Super Chat prize. Mark, you don't need to win me, dear. You can just have me anytime, day or night. Just pick the phone up, all right? Hello to Jeff. A very good evening to Jeff, who says, sorry we're late, but we got stopped by a brass monkey who wanted us to recommend a welder. I think, is that something my nephew does or my brother-in-law? Well, he does his own stuff. Martin. I don't think he goes out and does jobs for other people. So that's the Gemma Collins story there. Have you ever been stuck in the bath? How awful. We'll open those phone lines now, gang. Okay, there's your number. 0208 144 3477 if you'd like to call in on the show today. I'd like to know if you ever went sledging. Did you ever have a sledge? I asked this because if you were with us for the bingo last night, you will know that I went over the forest yesterday for my usual exercise, my usual 1 to 2 hour walk. And there was a lot of people over there yesterday because there's quite a lot of hills and that over the forest, in between on the paths and things like that. Good evening to Stephen Petty. Hello to you, Stephen. Welcome to the show, darling. And there was lots of little people, families with children and sledges and things like that. And it wasn't too busy. Remember, we have an enormous forest, 5 minutes walk from me. It's not far at all. And plenty of social distancing going on there. You can't say the same in London. You see, it's difficult in London because you just don't have much green space. I mean, you don't, so when you have something like a snowy day or whatever, or by the way, we've got an unknown caller calling in. I'm afraid I don't take unknown numbers. You need to send your number and then I'll answer your call. I don't take unknown numbers because what tends to happen is that people just put the phone down and then we get endless people putting the phone down all the time. All right. So if you want to call in, you have to send your number. Don't call on an unknown number because it won't get answered, my lover. It just spoils the flow of the show for everyone else. All right. Yes, if you're in London, you get a special day like a snowy day or a Sunday or a bank holiday. And everyone descends on, I don't know, Battersea Park, even Richmond Park. I mean, it's so busy. You've seen the pictures in the papers and that. And that's why. There just aren't the green spaces. I mean, look at Shepherd's Bush. The only space they've got in Shepherd's Bush is this tiny area. I say tiny. It's not that small. They've got an area which is literally on an enormously busy roundabout. It's not tiny. It's big, right? But it's just not enough really for the people around there. That's all they've got. I expect they've got a couple of small areas of grass, depending on where they live. Okay, but everyone from Shepherd's Bush descends on this tiny little bit of grass whenever the sun comes out. And it's just madness. Madness. They just don't have it. So when you see these pictures of people in London, as we saw at the weekend, was it Hyde Park or places like that, and they're rammed because they've got nowhere else to go. But where I went, as I say, the forest near me is absolutely enormous and there's plenty of social distancing. And these kids, when you see the families doing it, the mum's there and the dad's there as well. Good evening to Michael Lawrence. Evening to you. When's the wedding of you and Mark? I don't know. I'm still waiting to be asked. I'm not like a woman. I don't sit there and demand diamond rings and holidays to the Caribbean or anything like that. All I demand is a blooming good holiday, perhaps in a caravan or something like that. That's all I ask. Don't require jewellery or earrings, bracelets, them little things where you buy charms from. Don't want anything like that. No gold. No gold at all. Don't need anything like that. Anyway, back to the story. And so you see the father and the little kids following. The father is dragging... I don't know, did you go out on a sledge at all with your little boy, actually, yesterday, Mark? Did you go up there? And the father goes up and they're dragging the sledge up with the little people. Little people sort of, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 years old, following behind. Dad's dragging this thing up. Mum waits down the end because she can't be bothered. All she's worried about is the child getting hurt. I mean, oh Christ, a lot of them are out there. They've got carrier bags full of bits of cotton wool. And before the child gets on the sledge or starts climbing up the hill, there they are with the glue gun. Come here, little Freddie. And they start putting little balls of cotton wool all around the child, just in case it hurts itself. And then the child goes up, weighed down by the weight of the cotton wool, which doesn't weigh too much, but it's just a bit awkward. And they get up to the top. Dad stands at the top and he's holding that string on the little sleigh. And they're usually plastic ones. We had a red sleigh. When I was a little boy, we had a red sleigh, which I believe is at my sister's house or maybe my nephew's house that the children use there. And that makes me feel great, that does. If that sleigh is still being used, because they last. I mean, that sleigh we've got must be... That's got to be 45 years old, but it's thick plastic and it doesn't, it doesn't melt into the ground or anything, It's great. It's absolutely great, this thing. And there they are at the top there. The dad's got the bit of string All right, on you get. On gets Freddie and Sarah, or whatever their names are. Usually one on the back, one they're both on there like that. Off you go then, and then they go hurtling down. I mean, hurtling down this bit of hill, which is quite steep. Mum's at the bottom. Don't go so fast. Stop going so fast. You're going to hurt themselves. They don't listen, do they? Especially the boys. Faster, faster, faster. It's like when you push children in a swing, isn't it? Eh? They love it. They love it. Again, if you're the one pushing the string, the mother will be there somewhere. Oh, don't go too high. They might hurt themselves. Kid on the swing. Higher, higher, Chris. Higher, Uncle Chris. It's true. The dad's up the top, laughing his head off, giving it a good push. Then it gets to the bottom, doesn't it? And the children get off. They climb off, just about getting out of that sledge. Are you all right, Mum said. Are you all right? I watch them. This happens. Are you all right? Everything all right? Yes, Mum. Yes, Mum. And then they want to go up the top. Dad, can you come and take the sledge back up the top, please? Poor old Dad has to walk down the hill, slipping as he goes down, grabs the sledge, hoists it up again. The two little ones following him up. In they get and down they come again. I love it. I love it. And that's why I ask you, did you ever have a sledge? Did you have a sledge or what did you do? Did you do anything in the snow? Make snowmen? I saw a few snowmen out yesterday afternoon of varying different qualities. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter in the slightest. If your little child built you a snowman, it's the best snowman in the world, no matter what it looks like, isn't it? Eh? If my niece and nephew built a snowman, I thought it was rubbish. Do you think I wouldn't tell them? You don't tell them. You wouldn't tell them, would you? I think some people are too honest sometimes. Oh, little Johnny, that's not very good, is it? You can do better than that. That's like the fathers at the football matches, isn't it? Awful. When their little boy isn't particularly good at it, so they stand on the side of the pitch telling them, oh, you're really rubbish, you are, you're crap. And the swearing. These kids are like 8 years old. Dreadful. Give them encouragement, whatever they do. But snowmen, there was a few snowmen up there, which you saw on the opening video. By the way, there is now a new winter closing video, which is 2 minutes long, very similar to the opening one, but much longer, and other bits and pieces. Even I may make an appearance or two in my closing video, okay? It's all snowy and all nice, so you've got that to look forward to at the end of the show, together with a little bit of different music. Now, as I say, we had a red plastic sledge years ago, and I don't think I can count probably on two hands, or maybe even one hand, the amount of times I actually used it. Because in the 70s, if you're of an age, you will know that we had a lot more cold weather then, I think. We are in a little bit of a cold snap at the moment. We've had a few hours of snow, which some of it's still on the ground, most of it's gone now. But back in the 70s, it was much colder. We had several lots of snow come down throughout the course of the winter. And sometimes it would come down, there'd be ice on the ground for weeks. That doesn't happen anymore. We get it for a day here and a day there. So when it does happen, it's all very exciting, isn't it? But we had this red sledge, as I say, plastic thing, which I think is at my sister's now. And I always remember being at Richmond Park, particularly near Kingston Gate. We were near Kingston Gate. And right near Kingston Gate, if you come in at Kingston, I don't know if you can actually come in at Kingston. Yes, you can. If you come in Richmond Park at Kingston Gate and turn right, there's a very steep hill. If you're on a bike, forget it. You have to get off. It's that steep. It's a really steep hill. And of course, if you just go a little bit further, you can find there's a bit where you climb up. Hello to you, Heidi. Good evening, Heidi. Just a moment. I'll be with you in a moment. All right, my love?
All right, love.
All right, love. And this hill, you would climb up this hill. Well, of course, one day it all snowed and it all poured down this snow. We went up there on a Sunday afternoon and we got to the top of this hill and we got on this sledge. And I'm sure I was on there with my sister. So I was behind, I think, and she was in front. And we came hurtling down this hill. And this tree got closer and closer and closer. I can't remember if we actually hit it or not. But we did come down there at speed. I do remember that. It was great. Great. It's like a bit loads. Have you seen those bobsleighs? I remember old John Noakes on Blue Peter years ago, and he was on this bobsleigh, and they are fast. He fell off it, didn't he? And he bruised all his bum and all his back. Terrible damage you can do if you come off a bobsleigh. They go down these like, it's almost like an open tube, you know, the half of a tube, and it goes round like that. It's not man-made. Well, it must be man-made, I suppose, but it's packed with ice and snow, and you hurtle down that 70, 80 mile an hour. You come off that, you sure know about it. You been on the sleigh? Let's take a call then. Hello to Heidi. Good evening, Heidi.
Hello, darling.
How are you, my love? Nice to hear your voice, darling. Often have people ask about you, my love.
I know. Mandy keeps saying it. Everyone's asking for me.
There you go, love. See? Are you in the chat box, are you, my love?
I am.
Right,
and
okay.
Because I have to make a new YouTube account.
Yes. Oh, why is that then? Did you lose the other one?
Yeah.
Do you know, it's funny how you lose, something goes wrong sometimes with this technological stuff. Now, just before the show today, my browser on one of the computers, what's it called? Microsoft Edge, that did an update. So it did an update, fine. I've lost all my favourites from it. They've all gone. I'll have to redo them now. Completely disappeared. So it's like a blank Edge. Do you know that one of the browsers? A bit like Chrome, but Edge, yeah?
Yeah.
Just disappeared completely. Anyway, you're there now, Heidi. Tell us about sledging.
Tell you about sledging. Hi, Wood City. Hi, Michael. Yeah, I had a sledge when I was little.
Did you? And where was this? Where were you living? Were you still in Fulham at the time?
No. This is when I was tiny. I was living in Wilmslow then.
In where?
In Cheshire. In Wilmslow, Cheshire.
Wilmslow, is it called?
Yeah, in Cheshire.
Okay. My aunt's from Cheshire. She lived in Cheshire for a while.
Is she?
I don't remember which part. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, so we went down this really steep hill.
Yes.
And, yeah, it was good. Hi, Heidi.
Did you go very far?
Yeah.
Did you go very fast, rather?
Yeah. That was 10 mile an hour down the hill.
Was it just you, or was there someone else in the sleigh with you?
Oh, God, no. No, I went on my own. No, I couldn't take any... Even when I was little, I couldn't take any responsibility for anybody else like that. No.
And what was the sleigh like? Was it one of those old-fashioned wooden ones, or just like a piece of plastic, or did you make something yourself, or whoever looked after you at the time?
No, it's a wooden one. I made it myself.
Oh, really? What did you make that out of?
I made it out of wood.
Yeah, but was it a particular, like a pallet or something like that at all?
I don't know. It was just wood to me.
Just a flat piece of wood, but it went fast, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, how blooming marvellous. Yeah. Would you like to do that again?
I made sure it did.
What about the idea of going in a bobsleigh? Do you like the sound of that? 60, 70, 80 mile an hour? Oh, excuse me, I just sniffed then.
I'm all for that. I love I'm what you call a thrill seeker.
A thrill seeker? Oh, so you must like funfair rides and that sort of thing, do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Gosh, wow. I don't like that sort of thing. Go on.
Take me to Blackpool.
Right.
Put me on the one, right at the front.
Have you been on that roller coaster there?
Which one? What, the big one?
The Big Dipper.
Yeah.
Have you really? Oh, no, I wouldn't catch me on that. I have been on a couple of roller coasters, but I've decided they're not really for me, Heidi.
No, I've been on it about 8 times.
Not really my sort of thing. Well, thank you very much, Heidi. Do you ever go round, as a matter of interest, are you still in Fulham?
No.
Where are you now?
I'm in North London now.
Whereabouts?
Halsden.
Halsden. Do you have a park there? Is there somewhere green that you can go to, or for exercising, or what?
Yeah, there's a park down the bottom of the road.
You go there very often? Did you go there very often?
but I've never been there.
Right, okay. But so that could be a place to go for your exercising, my darling.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Heidi. Always a pleasure to talk to you, my darling.
All right.
Bye-bye, love. There we
Bye.
are, Heidi talking about her sleigh time. Have you been on a sleigh? Tell me all about it. 0208 144 3477 is my phone-in number on the show today. Thanks very much to Stephen Petty sending a 79 pence super chat today. Thank you very much, Stephen. Very kind of you, dear. All the money's flooding in today, dear. Flooding in. Hello to Jeff Burley. Jeff. Evening, Jeff. Jeff says, I still got my old sledge, metal framed with wooden slats. That's the type of sledge I was just asking Heidi about there. I thought she might have had something like that. Our son and grandson both used it. Isn't that great when you get something that you pass down like that? I do hope that my red sledge is still in use, maybe by great nieces and great nephews, although they didn't have any snow up in Lincolnshire. Apparently at the weekend. That was all down here. As I say, most of it's disappeared now. Hi to Chris Woodhouse, who said there was no distancing between those snowmen. Yeah, as I said, I said on the radio show the other morning, if you're going to build a snowman, you can only do one. Don't have two snowmen out in your front garden, okay? Plus, you standing next to them, because Pretty Patel will be with you for that one, my darling. And you know what'll happen? Be very, very careful. No more than one snowman. And even then, if you want to take your picture in front of it, okay, what you've got to do is make sure no one comes out at the same time. Otherwise, Pretty Patel comes round. Daniel Woodhouse, have you got something for Pretty Patel by any chance? I feel that you might actually fancy her.
What, you think I fancy Pretty Patel?
I reckon so. Yeah. She's got like an author. Even as a gay man, I feel that there's. I actually fancied Theresa May as well. Isn't that strange? And I don't mean in a perverted way, which is the way you'd probably fancy her. There was something about them, women in authority. Margaret Thatcher, Pretty Patel, Theresa May. Michelle Obama. There's another one. I quite like her. Not Melania. She's a bit fake. I think Melania's a bit fake, don't you? Melania Trump.
No, I never really fancied any politic women.
David and Jojo are in Grimsby. Hello to David and Jojo on the show today. Jojo, she does singing. She's very good. On Facebook. Jojo on Facebook there. You can put your link... incidentally, Jojo, up on the chat thing. I don't know if that works or not. Don't know if that will allow you to do it or not, but it's worth a try there. David and Jojo are in the house. They're sorry they're late. Jojo Boogie team in the house. No snow up north. It's too cold. Do you know that's exactly what my sister said, Dave and Jojo? It's too cold up there, unfortunately. Leslie Ross. Hello, Leslie. Now, Leslie writes, I'm from Shepherd's Bush. I used the Bush Green when the fun fair was there. Oh, yeah, they have a fun fair. Yeah. I don't know how safe you are at the fun fair on Shepherd's Bush Green. Sod that, mate. I think you'd probably take your life in your hands when you go over there and get a nice big hot dog in your mouth, don't you, my love? It says, I used to go out and sunbathe on the green. Thank you very much, Leslie. And Rachel Wheatland. Yes, Chris, we had snow in Lincolnshire. Came down very heavy, settled, but didn't last very long. Not where my sister was. So, snow, as you probably know, Daniel, snow can be very, very local. I'm sure there's been a couple of cases where I've been somewhere and I've seen like snow on one side of the road and not on the other. Have you ever experienced that at all?
Nope.
Right, well, that's the end of that then, isn't it?
No, if it snows, it snows. It is snow. It's, well, in fact, what we like to do in the snow down here in the east is we do the snow duck dance.
The what?
The snow duck dance.
Oh, I dread to think what this is. Go on.
Yeah, it goes snow, snow, quack, quack, snow.
Oh. Would you like to put that to music at all, Daniel, and perhaps sing it for us, my love? To the millions of people all over the world watching this show.
It's not really a song. It's just
you might get a recording contract if you're any good.
It's just sort of like a wintry two-step, you could say.
A wintry two-step. Is that a dance? Can you do the dance, Daniel?
I suppose I could with the right woman.
Well, perhaps you could send in the video of that, and you doing the snow, quick snow dance.
Hmm.
I'm liking the sound of that.
Yeah, I've got all that polystyrene stuff there. Could use that as snow.
Oh, don't. You know, I go and pick up rubbish. Well, it's one of my things. I do a bit.
Oh,
Keep them
yes.
safe.
One
The
being free.
worst possible thing you can find, right, is not a glass bottle or a plastic bottle or a can or a crisp
What
bucket.
about a condom?
I've never found one of those.
No. You're
Never
lucky
found
then.
one of those when I've been. I found a pair of black knickers a couple of weeks ago. Black
Wow.
knickers over the forest. Black knickers were just laying there in one of the bushes. No doubt some youngster's been up there. A couple have been up there. Anyway, the worst possible thing you can find is a broken up piece of polystyrene. It gets everywhere, and it takes bleeding ages to tidy the stuff up. It's all little pieces all over the place. Most depressing. It's not so bad if you find a whole piece, but it isn't, is it? Kids find it and they start stamping on it. Oh, look how much mess we can make with this one piece of polystyrene. And you spend ages picking that stuff up. And it don't go anywhere, does it? Doesn't disintegrate into the ground. Not like when you're dead, Daniel. You know, very quickly, I would imagine. I would imagine in the space of a few hours, you'll just become dust. Dust to dust. What's the correct saying, please, Shania? I'll have to have a word with Shania. What's the correct saying? Dust to dust and ashes to ashes, or something like that is.
Well, over at my mum's in Elm Park, it's gone now. I'm going to try and keep this one clean as I can. But
what's gone?
Over at mum's, the footbridge over Elm Park Station.
Yes.
For years and years, I used to go over there, but there was this piece of graffiti had been put up there, and sadly it's been painted over now. But somebody scrawled up there once: "Ashes to ashes, dust to dusty. If it wasn't for women, you'd go rusty." And I kept that clean as I could.
And did you find that you went rusty quite some years ago, Daniel, did you?
I suppose I have. I never bleed had the chance yet.
Never mind, love.
I've only got as far as the flirting bit with the women.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, if you can always pay. If you just type into your search engine, Google, female escorts, and then type in brackets extras, and it may come out with a price for you.
I don't believe in any of that, Chris.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't believe in doing it with a woman who you're not going to actually really
I know what you mean, darling.
get to know properly.
Yeah,
Here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's just an absolute, Where is he?
I'm here, listening. I'm listening, dear. I don't want to talk over you all the time, dear.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, you was asking, what have I ever done in the snow?
Right.
Well, not a lot really, apart from stay indoors.
You don't go in the snow then?
Well, the only nearest thing I ever did in the snow was writing "Merry Christmas" in the snow. Mind you, I was dying for a piss at the time.
Well, you could sing a Merry Christmas song. Well, here it is. We want to hear your vocal talents tonight, Danny.
You really want to hear me singing?
Yeah, go on. Let's sing, baby.
I can only do the...
Sing, baby.
I can only do "My old man said follow the van, don't dilly-dally on the way." That's about all I'm capable of is all that. And he's up Mother Brown and the Robert E. Lee. I'm only capable of that. I only know all that, you see, because our Auntie Shirley, for years she had the old Mrs. Mills' Knees Up party record. And I guess it's probably still in the loft up there.
Yes.
And so that's how I got to know what all them was, you see.
Yeah.
I didn't know these band. But as for your all like proper sentimental songs and all that, I'm sorry, I end up sounding, as Billy Connolly would say, I'd sound like a goose farting in the fog.
What you need is a large orchestra behind you. That's what you need,
Oh yeah,
I could send some because I've got a whole orchestra sitting there over there in the corner, and I could send those over. Perhaps you could make a little track or a song there, Danny.
Yeah, because I do like I
I'm
do
sure
like
you
big.
do, and let's hope that one day you have something like that. Thanks for the call
Yeah.
tonight, Danny.
All right then, Chris.
Bye bye, lovey.
Thank you. Thank
There
you
we
very
are.
much. Good
Daniel
night.
Woodhouse calling in from Essex there. 0208 144 3477. I'm sorry, Gary. Yes, you're quite right. You didn't send a pound in yesterday. It was Gary Ross. Gary Ross sent in a pound super chat last night. Wasn't No, listen, Gary Ross didn't send a pound in last night. It was Stephen Petty. So sorry for my error. That's 2 errors tonight. When have I ever made mistakes on this show? Unbelievable. Jeff says you look sleepy there. Yeah, I was kind of wandering off while that call was on. I'll be honest with you. You know, I was kind of wandering off a little bit. You know, when people call in, I like try and keep my attention for a little while, my darlings. All right. There's Heidi Young. Hello, Heidi. Good evening, Heidi. From the other Heidi, snow about has gone here in Lincolnshire. We need some more. Take care, lovely. Keep up the good work. And that's Heidi speaking from a very cold caravan. She's getting through a bottle of gas every 10 days. And on that particular site, the gas is very reasonable on that site. A big bottle of gas, you know, the big orange bottles of gas you can buy, £65, I think they are, on the site, which is average. It's not dear. I've heard some horrific stories of how much some of these thieving bastards of caravan sites charge people for bottles of gases. I've heard more than £100 per bottle on some of these sites. It's disgusting. As a matter of interest, John Parrish, how much does your site charge for your bottles of gas there? Ours is 65. I think it's been 65 for the last couple of years. I'm sure it was 65 last year as well. Good evening to John Glazebrook. Evening, John, who says half-time with the football. So thought I would quickly join you for 10 minutes. Thank you, John. Nice to hear you there. Hello to the lovely Matt Van. Good evening, Matt. He couldn't play the bingo last night, could he? Don't worry, he didn't win. And hello, excuse me a moment. Dear me. Do you know that could be a new method of propelling vehicles around, couldn't it? Loads of people sneezing on the back. You could just drop some pepper down in front of their noses. Every time they sneeze, it would move forward a little bit more, wouldn't it? Hello to Glenda in the USA. Hello, Glenda. Have a great evening. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, Glenda. Yes, it's a nice evening here, Glenda. Things are working nicely tonight, I feel. Things are working nicely, okay? 0208 144 3477 if you want to call in on the show today. I had a technical fault yesterday. It wasn't necessarily my fault. On Sunday, after I went over and did some filming, while the dinner was on, I went over to the Co-op and I wanted some bread rolls. And what else did I buy over? I can't remember what else I bought in there now. Bread rolls. And I had those... you know those crisps that aren't crisps? They're not baked, popped. Popped crisps? They're like bubbles, but they're not greasy at all. You know when you've had a bag of crisps, there's always that grease all over your hands. You have a bag of these, no grease at all, because they're baked. Apparently they're popped. So I found these barbecue popped things in the Co-op. And I bought them and some bread and a couple of other bits and pieces in there. And I go to the self-service thing. There's a little thing there. But you can only play with your card or touch. You know, the touch thing. So I've got my mobile phone there. And, you know, you do that thing. And you have to push the button. I hate touching the screen. I hate it. I touch the screen. As soon as I come out of the Co-op, the little bottle of hand wash is straight out of my pocket. And I'm washing my hands like that. Anyway, touch the screen. Went to pay. Beep, beep. Oh, it's not working, is it? Failed. Okay, let's try it again. Beep, beep. Failed. Fortunately, I know one of the staff quite well, Rob. He's a lovely bloke, actually. He's a manager over there. And he said, "You all right, Chris?" I said, "No, it's not working." He said, "You're trying to pay with the what is it? So I don't know what you call that. It's Apple Pay, but there's other payment. What do you call it? Touch and go? Is that it? I don't know what it's called. Well, it goes. You hold it there and it comes up your credit card or whatever you've got stored on there, and then you put your thumb on it, And it just pays, and it wasn't working. He said, it's all gone down. It went down about an hour ago across all the co-ops. You need your card to be able to do it at the moment. I said, well, I haven't got my card. He said, all right, okay, just a minute. And he went out the back and come out. He said, I'll pay for your shopping. Bring us back a tenner later on. Okay, mate, that's fine. So, fortunately, he paid for it, and I gave him a tenner. He gave me a tenner. He said, I'll give you a tenner rather than right money. Just bring us a tenner back when you're ready, mate. Okay. So he paid for my shopping, and off I went. But I got back home, and it said on here that the money had gone from my Visa. So I rang the co-op again, and fortunately Rob answered the phone. And I said, it's actually come up on here as paid. He said, no, well, it won't have gone through, though. He said, that will happen. What you'll find is that it is either credited back or it doesn't come out of the pending thing. So I had a look on here, and on my Visa, it does say pending. It's only £6. I mean, nevertheless, it's £6, isn't it? You know, £6.40 or whatever it is. It says pending, and it hasn't come out of pending. So maybe that's how it is. And I came back here, I'd done my dinner. I did some chips and I had yesterday chips and I can't remember what I had yesterday. Chips and something anyway. Chips and maybe corn nuggets, chips and corn nuggets and vegetables. And then I took his tenner back there, and that was it. See, the trouble is, I hate that. When you lend people money or people lend you money, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't have that money back in their hands as quickly as possible. The amount of people over the years, not recently to be honest, when I was working in pubs, I'd always get someone come up, all right, good, and it'd be friends, or not so much friends, acquaintances. And you'll know this. This will have happened to many of you where you've borrowed someone a couple of quid, a fiver, a tenner. Does it come back? Like hell does it. Like hell does it. And I just never, ever got the money back. Never. I'll be fair, my mate, Ronnie, he's rarely asked for money, but on the extremely rare occasions he's asked to borrow a couple of quid, it always comes back. I think he's the only one who's paid me back. It's shocking. It's outrageous. And there's always a bloody excuse, isn't there? And these people, I haven't got it on me at the moment. They're standing there at a bar, buying drink and buying food. And it's not fair. It's not fair. So years ago, I completely stopped it. And now, Chris, it doesn't happen now because I don't go out drinking anymore. But people have you got a tenner, Chris? Oh, I don't lend money. Oh, you'll get it back. I said, as a rule, I'm not offended that you asked, but I don't lend money to anyone, full stop. Sorry, hope you find someone else. Bye, bitch. Like that, Never, ever lend anyone any money because it just doesn't come back. Doesn't come back, does it? So I had to go and pay that £10 back within 2 hours. He had that £10 back in his hand, and I was happy about that. So no touch and pay at the co-op last night. I don't mind not paying, but not touching. I do like a bit of a touch. Thank you very much. All right, let's have a look here. I've posted all your prizes off. Anyone who won a prize last night on the bingo, all that went in the post earlier on. And as well, Leslie Ross's Echo Dot, which she won on the Super Chat last week, didn't you? All right, Les, my darling, that's in the post tomorrow or the day after. Everything goes first class. I bought some stamps as well because we're a bit lacking in stamps. Fran says, sneezing twice, Chris. One wish to a... Oh, hang on a minute. What's this say? Have I only got half the message here, I think, Fran? It says, bless you twice, Chris. One wish to a kiss. Am I going to get kiss? Oh, it's ages since I had a proper kiss. I get that. I get, a little kiss like that. But I don't get that anymore. It's very disappointing, to be honest. Don't forget the email as well, gang. If you want to send in an email, you can do. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is the email address. All right. Hello to Mike Durham. Hello, Mike. Who says, what's he done? Your studio to grab a photo of your staff taking calls. Thank you, Mike. I can't put stuff straight on there, unfortunately, Mike. I can, but it's all a bit... you know, you have to start doing things and it kind of spoils the flow of the show. But thanks for sending that in. I'll save that for another show. All right, Mike, thank you. And Mike says, do you remember that 50 quid I lent you in 1989, please? I never borrow money. I never, ever borrow money. I'd rather do without. You know, in the pub or somewhere. In fact, you know, at trade, Mike, at Turnmills, a couple of times in there I might have run out of stuff, you know. And people who would be walking around doing stuff. I said, all right, Chris. I said, well, I'm just off home now. Where are you going home for? I said, oh, I've run out now. Oh, no, here, I have some of that. No, can't have it. Nope. Unless I've paid up front, I can't take anything from anyone. And I certainly don't borrow money. I mean, I'd really have to be at death's door, you know, to ask someone to borrow a £5 or something like that. That's just how I am. You know, it's just one of those things. All right, now we've got a couple of stories. I don't know if John McGinley is with us today, but it's his birthday today. He's 41. So if you're there, John, send us a little message and I'll sing to you. If you're in the chat box or you're watching the show for the first time, a very good evening to you. There is a chat box, but I don't go into the chat box. To contact me, just use the text number at the top there, top left-hand corner, 07551 259 675 is my text number, 07551 259 675, or you can use the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, or you can phone in if you want to. If you're going to phone in, you need to send your number, okay? If you're calling from a withheld number, you won't get answered, I'm afraid, because people just put the phone down and it's just a complete waste of time. All right? Do you know, it's a shame, really, doing the live shows, and I've learnt so much over the years, over the last year or so, to do with the phone and that, you know, and I used to answer all the calls, and you just get people putting it down all the time. That and the problems with the text box as well. I've learnt an awful lot in a year from this thing. Funny, really, isn't it? We've got a few stories for you as well today. Now, let me just get my little menu of what's in today's show so I remember to do everything. Often I don't get to the end of the menu, but I think we might get down there today, to be honest. 020 8144 3477 is my live phone-in number. Do you have colourful openings? There's a question for you. Do you have colourful openings? In the Daily Mail, dinosaurs had colourful genitals that they used to attract mates before rubbing their openings together. I mean, the Daily Mail, supposed to be a family newspaper, and they're coming out with this sort of crap now. Dinosaurs had colourful openings. Can anyone say the same? What about you? Colourful openings at all? What colour are they? Oh, they're a nice pink, perhaps. Maybe not green. Might not be too attractive. You know, it's a sort of a greeny colour. Experts from the UK and States reconstructed the nether regions of Pistacoriosaurus, a Labrador dog-sized dinosaur from around 145 to 150 million years ago. Who's as old as that? Not me. I'm not. And apparently they did it just like modern crocodiles. Now, I've never seen crocodiles doing it, you know. I've seen dogs. It's not a nice thing to watch, is it? Especially if you've got children with you and you're sitting there watching the telly. And I'm sorry, David Attenborough, I like your stuff, but do we have to see animals doing it, please, on our televisions? It's just... no. Dogs I've seen on the telly. The pigeons are at it sometimes in the tree opposite me. Feathers everywhere. Cats! My God, I don't know how they survive. Fur all over the place. Flying all over. The noise. Never heard so much noise. Cats doing it. The fossil specimen was unearthed in northeast China and is held in Germany of this particular thing going on there. The 0.7-inch long opening, known as the cloaca or vent. I've got vents in the side of my house. They're just white. Don't need. Perhaps I should have that colourful. A nice colourful opening outside. It says the dinosaur also used for defecating, urinating, and also mating. The same hole. Oh, mind you. When birds mate, they bring their genitalia together for a few seconds to exchange fluids, it says here, in a process experts have called a cloacal kiss. Isn't this interesting? This is practically a natural history programme today. We're learning stuff together. Why am I not on the BBC in the morning with the schools programmes they're doing at the moment? Why haven't I been put on there? Here I am, stuck in this tiny little room on my own. A handful of people around me. Modern baboons and some salamanders use similar mating tactics, as do a limited number of birds, including the alpine axinator, a kentaur, and the spotted bowerbird. So there we are. We've learnt a new thing today. Dinosaurs had very, very colourful openings. You didn't know that, did you, my loves? Eh? There you are. You learn a new thing every day on this programme. Don't forget you can use the email as well if you want to. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. There's a scam going on. Yeah, another one. There's another scam going on. I meant to tell you this last on the 2 shows ago. And it's happening in Richmond at the moment. Very nice area of London, Richmond. You and I could only ever dream of living in Richmond. Does anyone live here at Richmond who's watching the show today? That's where I used to fix the telephones. That was a lovely job, working for British Telecom. And my main area was Richmond, Ham, Kew, East Sheen, Mortlake. Just beautiful area. Absolutely stunning area. The houses there. There were some flats, there were some council flats, but there also were some very, very expensive houses in Richmond. And I used to go in there and fix their phones. It was great. But they're being scammed in one of the car parks. And I know the car park they're talking about here. In the Daily Mail, it says a wave of low-tech bank card thefts at pay and display machines and car parks has seen drivers lose thousands of pounds in a matter of minutes. Criminals impersonating needy members of the public. Are you a needy member of the public? Who is a needy member of the public? Criminals impersonating needy members of the public claim the parking machines swallowed their bank cards when trying to make a payment, before making off with the debit and credit cards of unwitting, helpful motorists who then try and pay for them. Why is it always the one who does someone a favour ends up out of pocket? Why is that? Like the time I've lent money to people. Why is it always the one who's done the favour gets dumped on? Why is that? It's not fair, is it? It's really not fair. The scam, which was first highlighted by This Is Money, which is like a part of the Daily Mail, over a year ago, claimed a number of victims in London's Richmond, according to local police investigating a series of such offences. Awful. In some cases, criminals impersonate car park attendants. I've got one of those orange jackets. Maybe I could have a go at this. Earn a bit of cash. They impersonate car park attendants and tell victims they face a fine and frog march them to a card machine. The victim is distracted while inserting their card before it's stolen, according to UK Finance. And of course, the same thing has happened at the hole in the wall things as well, don't they? Yeah. There's usually a two-man thing going on there where I think one of the things there is like you're a machine, and while you're posting your money in the putting your card in the machine, you push the button. When you wait for the money to come out, a bloke standing nearby throws a £5 on the floor, taps you on the shoulder. Hey, you've dropped £5 there, mate. You go bent down to pick it up, and they grab the money and your card out of the machine, and off they go. You haven't even noticed, and you think the money hasn't come out. Yes, it has. He's now got it in his pocket. All he's lost is a £5 and probably gained 200. Terrible, really. It says the more common scenario is that criminals dupe victims by claiming to have forgotten their cards or had a machine. What's that say? But the more common scenario is that criminals dupe victims by claiming to have forgotten their cards or had a machine. Had a machine taken them. Okay, they've missed out a word there. They then offer cash in exchange for borrowing a card from an unwitting motorist who also intends to use the card payment-only machines. Drivers are warned not to fall for the relatively rudimentary tactic, with officials explaining it's impossible for the machines to swallow bank cards during payment. So, you've got to be one ahead of these people. Anyone tries to help you at a card machine, don't accept their offer. Seriously. They're all at it. Sometimes I do see, unfortunately, it does tend to be sort of older people who seem to come a cropper with this sort of thing, like the emails, endless emails, as you well know. Endless emails from banks and that. Please send your details. Someone has got into your account, don't they? And then and the phone calls as well, the scamming phone calls. My Auntie Brenda's had a few of them. And I tell her, no bank is ever going to ask you for your passwords or anything like that. Sad. It's really sad. Ryanair have been a bit naughty. We told you this story a little while ago. Ryanair, did you see the advert on the telly? Jab and go, they were saying. That was the lead. It was on the telly. Jab and go. Soon you'll be able to jab and go in a way of trying to encourage you to make bookings. A lot of these holiday companies, they're trying to get money in to survive. I'd be very wary of, and I'm sorry to have to say it, I'd be very wary handing any money over to any holiday company, whether it's your local, I don't know how many local travel agents exist now. The sort of one travel agent run by a small family or something like that. Have you got one in your town at all? One of those sort of independent travel agents? I don't think there are any more, are they? We lost Thomas Cook, taken over recently by Hayes Travel, and I bet they wish they hadn't done that now. I don't know how well Hayes Travel are doing, but we've got it's not who someone took over from Thompson's. Who was it again? What do they call themselves now? Thompson. Stupid name. Everyone knew Thompson's, and they decided to change it. I can't even remember what the name is now, what they call themselves now. But they've got holidays on offer in there for 2022. They're selling holidays, I kid you not, for 2022 in Thompson Holidays or whatever they're called now. The ones with a light blue logo or red logo on a light blue background, that holiday company. I wouldn't even book a holiday with British Airways. To hand any money over to a holiday company at the moment, I think you're risking it, whether or not they're covered by ABTA or whoever they are. But the Ryanair in the Daily Mail, it says it suggested holidaymakers could jab and go, and it's been heavily criticised by Ireland's advertising watchdog. When I first saw that ad, I thought, this is a bit naughty, isn't it? After receiving 59 complaints, the advertisers, that's not many, is it? 59? don't sound many to me. 59 complaints out of how many millions of people who saw that? I mean, I must say, I thought it was a bit naughty. And if I was like advertising commission, I probably wouldn't have allowed it. I'm surprised it even got through. Jab and go, Ryanair. Anyway, they only got 59 complaints, but the Advertising Standards Authority for Ireland said in a draft report that the ad was in bad taste, and it's likely that consumers would interpret the phrase jab and go as an unequivocal endorsement of vaccinating and travelling unconditionally, according to a newspaper report. The ad set to be withdrawn features a syringe, a small bottle labelled vaccine. The ad promoted flights to sunny European destinations and offered seats for like $19.99, telling customers to jab and go. Did you see that on the telly at all? Very, very naughty, Ryanair. Very naughty indeed. All right, so I think they're going to take that one off. A voiceover on the TV version of the ad said, vaccines are coming, so book your Easter and summer holidays today with Ryanair. 1 million seats on sale for $19.99, yeah. That's never the price you pay, though, is it? My sister goes, where's my sister goes? I think she goes EasyJet, my sister. My sister goes EasyJet to Cyprus. Unfortunately, she's had to change one of her flights. She did have a couple of flights going to and from Cyprus in March, which I was pretty sure wouldn't go anyway. And eventually one of them was cancelled. So they then cancelled the other one going out there. She could get out there, but not back again. And they cancelled the one coming back. And she couldn't find another one coming back. So she cancelled that. And to give EasyJet their due, they immediately refunded her the money, which is, of course, how it should be. But it isn't always, is it? It's not always like that, unfortunately. 0208 144 3477 if you want to call in about anything tonight that we're talking about. And on the subject of jab and go, and I mentioned this one on the radio this morning. I do a daily radio show, gang. Music and chat, that's where that is. All right? Just in case you don't know already, Monday to Friday, 9 till 10. And you can find that at reachonair.com. I'll give that another little mention later on. I'll tell you how you can listen. You can either type that into your address bar, reachonair.com. There's lots of variety on there. There's all sorts of different things. There's a country music show, oldies, new stuff. It's all on there. I've got my favourites on there. Okay. Fran Green listens to a lot of the other people on there. I think she listens to Dave Squires. And who's the lad after me? Swishy. Listens to Swishy as well, don't you, my love? She enjoys it. All right. And I mentioned this on the show today. Cats and dogs. They may have to vaccinate those as well. Once we've been done, we might have to move on to cats and dogs. Taking the Metro's view on this, it may be necessary to vaccinate pets in the future to stop coronavirus from spreading back to humans, scientists have said. Funny, isn't it? This stuff can go from species to species. It has already been proved the virus can affect a number of different domestic species, including cats, dogs and mink. Mink. Are they vicious little animals, minks? Is that awful when... I mean, you may have one, though. Mink coats and things like that. And all those... In the past, certainly when I was a child, it was a thing to have, like a fur coat. Like a mink or rabbit skin coat or... And we've come a long way since that, I think, haven't we? Having to murder little animals to wear their skin is a bit much, isn't it, eh? I mean, it's one thing, I'm vegetarian, but it's one thing eating them and another thing just killing them to rip their coats off. Sometimes they're not even dead when they do it. It's awful. Minks. But what are minks like as animals? Are they sort of vicious little things? I don't know if they're vicious or not. Or could you pet one like a cat? Could you have a mink? Like a pet mink? Could you have that? It says experts from the University of East Anglia say the continued evolution of the virus in animals, followed by transmission to humans, poses a significant long-term risk for public health. Now, what is your pet like at the vets? Do they go a little bit wild, a little bit mad? all my 3 cats that I've had over the years have been pretty good in vets. And, of course, the sad thing is that's usually the last place you see them, isn't it? 2 of my cats. Oh, it's just... You're in that waiting room and then you go in there and eventually you go home alone. It's just horrible, isn't it? And that's why I don't have a pet anymore. It just used to broke my heart. 2 of my cats, well, 3 of them, but the other one, she had a not a pleasant ending outside. Something bit her head off, basically. I found awful. And I think it was Mick Davenport. Didn't Mick Davenport recently lose a pet? I think members of the family, aren't they? It says in the Metro it's not unthinkable that vaccination of some domestic animal species might be necessary to curb the spread of the infection. So that's a story in the Metro. But what are your pets like in the vets? I have to say, all 3 of my cats, when I used to take them to and from the vets, they were pretty well behaved. It didn't seem to bother them that much. My mate once made the mistake. He's got 5 cats now. 5. And they have little... It's quite funny watching them. Amazing cats. I love cats. He's got this little white one. She's the youngest one. And she's always looking for something naughty. You can see it in her face. She looks around, looking for something bad to do. She attacks all the other cats and jumps on them. She's hilarious. And then when she's not doing something like that, when she's laying there, she's got like this resting bitch face. Do you know what I mean by that? She's like, resting bitch face, I call it. Huh? Let's take a call. Hello, George.
Hello, Chris.
Evening, George. Have you got a pet?
I've got a cat.
Have you? Oh, what's it called?
Yeah. Tilly.
Tilly the cat. Oh, what a delightful name for a cat.
Yeah.
What's she like in the vets? Is it a girl, yeah?
They should say this, though. It was a boy. We bought it as a boy.
Oh, right, okay.
Because this is when I used to live with my mum and dad.
Right.
Okay. Sarah had 1 cat, and Sarah's my sister, and Emma, who's been isolating, had another cat called Elfie. Okay?
Yeah.
So they bought 2 cats, and one thought it was a boy, and one the cats thought it was a boy, and the other cat was a girl. Okay, bought 2 cats, took them vets, and they wanted to chop the doodah off, and took them home. We had a phone call the next day. Tilly was a boy, not a girl.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So she was a boy, but they chopped her doodah off, so she's half a boy, half a girl.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Well, it's only so they can't make more cats. That's why they do that.
Yeah.
They don't chop it all off, It's just the 2 little bits, not the long bit.
Yeah, I know.
So she's still really a boy. So it's still really a boy, He still have the long bit.
Yeah. I used to have a dog.
Right.
And he used to be vicious at the vets, though.
Was he? What dog was it?
It was a Labrador cross collie everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and it used to be vicious because we used to go on holiday and we had to put in kennels.
Yes.
Of course, they had to have the jabs, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Well, you would have to. Well, you have to. If you've got a dog or cat, you're supposed to have certain vaccinations anyway, aren't you? I think distemper one of them. Would you know? Distemper, I think, is one of them.
No.
Not 100% sure about that, but I think it might be.
Anyway, he he didn't like the vet.
Right.
Suddenly a vet went near it, he just growled at it.
Well, whenever he got into the vets, he knew straight away where he was, did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And suddenly the vet person got near him. Lily bit his hand off.
I would imagine that vets have to have some sort of insurance against all that. It must be a blooming thing to look after, like, and cats as well. Cats can be very, very, and they move really quickly. Cats, their bodies wriggle like that, and they can get a good scratch or a bite out of you. I've seen videos of cats literally launching themselves at people's faces.
Yeah, but the dog, God, what we had to do was put Ben to sleep to put the vaccination in him.
Oh right, okay.
Or I had to have my pap to have his, not hard, but put his head round his, put his arm round his head, not tight, so he couldn't see behind.
Right. So he didn't know what was going on. What sort of cat? What sort of cat did you have?
But I've still got the cat.
What, do you know what sort of cat it is? What colours has it got? Is it a tabby or what?
It used to be a tabby. It's black at the moment. It's been ever so poorly. It keeps pooing on the doormat.
Oh, it's not very well. No. Is it in the same place all the time?
Yes.
Is it the doormat next to the front door?
Yes.
Well, can it get out? Is there a little hole for it to get out or not?
We have, because we used to have a dog, we used to have a huge cat flat.
Right.
And we've got that. But we reckon it's because it don't like the cold.
Oh, I suppose it could be. Have you thought about getting a cat litter tray there?
My nan doesn't want a cat litter tray.
Okay.
So we just lock it in the kitchen.
Poor little thing, dear.
I know. Sometimes I bring her up here.
It's not much fun having to clean up after it, is it?
Well, in the kitchen we've got tiles.
Right, okay.
So it's easier to pick poo up than it is on a mat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bless it. Do you sleep with your cat?
No.
Why is that then?
I used to, because it used to poo on the doormat at night time.
What, in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't step in it accidentally, did you, or anything like that, my love?
I used to open the door and go,
oh, no! You never get rid of that smell from between your toes, would you? Oh, God. Yeah. Mind you, I mean, some of these little, like, teenage boys, you know, quite honestly, some of them need to step in poo on their feet because their feet stink, don't they? Teenage boys. My two young nephews, well, they're not young anymore. Gary, when he was a teenager, when I used to go up there at Christmas, you know, used to go and visit them in their rooms and what have you, and Jimmy as well, and you would open the door and this blooming smell would come out. Oh, it's awful. I think all teenage boys should have cat poo by the doors so that they can step in there before they come out their rooms because their feet stink. Oh,
you can actually buy
sake, man.
You can actually buy lawns poo.
Not nice. My niece wasn't like that. When I used to go and visit my niece in her room, her feet never smelt like that. Mind you, she had the worst, the most untidy bedroom I've ever seen. This was my niece when she was 14, 15, I suppose. And I go upstairs to visit her on my visits there. And there'd be all this makeup on the bed. I mean, the bed was just covered in different types of makeup, you know, lipstick and I don't know what else, and powders and things like that. And I'd like, where on earth do you sleep? She's across the bed like that, in the middle of it all. She never used to put it all away. Have you got smelly feet, have you? Could you just check that now for me, George, to see if you've got smelly feet or not? Could you just put your nose down there and maybe you could ask your nan Go, if you ask your nan to come on the phone and tell me whether or not you've got smelling feet.
No.
Thanks for the call, George.
Okay.
Cheerio. There we are. George and his smelly feet coming in there, man, gang. Beware of people that offer you hand sanitizer. Smelly feet. Oh, honestly, Gary and Jimmy, they're both my nephews, have grown up now. I used to go up to their rooms and feet, dear. Oh, God. Anyway, Morrison's. Don't ever accept hand sanitizer if there's someone standing outside Morrison's. In the Daily Star, a group of young yobs offered free squirts of hand sanitizers just a moment. Hello, Claricea. Be with you in a second, my darling. All right, my love. A group of young yobs offered free squirts of hand sanitizer to shoppers queuing outside a popular Morrison store, but the liquid actually turned out to be super glue. You just imagine that, because isn't it horrendous when you get super glue on your fingers, and you don't always stick it, but you can't peel this stuff off, or it's horrible stuff. Although I must admit, it's probably easier to get hard super glue off, than that really stick. I can't remember what it is. The worst thing ever I've got on my hands is expanding foam. Oh my God, you can't get rid of it. And it's just constantly sticking. Horrible stuff. Well, these kids were giving out super glue instead of hand sanitizer. People never going like that with a can't get my hands apart. Hello, Claricea in Manchester. How are you, darling?
Hey, sweetie.
You all right there
doing?
today?
I'm good.
Check now. I can't remember. You got boy?
What, sweetheart?
How many boys have you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boys, 1 girl.
You got 6 boys. They're all older now, are they? I can't remember now.
2 eldest ones, yeah, they're cool. They're all married and that, and yeah, the younger ones and that. So yeah.
As younger teenage boys, did their feet stink?
No, actually.
Oh, they were all right, were they?
One.
Okay, fair enough. No, fair enough. I don't suppose it happens to everyone.
No, they don't. Don't.
My sister's still got it. She's still got smelly feet.
Really?
Yeah, she won't take her shoes off when she comes around my caravan. She won't remove her shoe because she's got really smelly feet. I thought it was just
my
actually, yeah, I completely forgot about that. I thought it was just like teenage boys who had this problem. I'm trying to remember whether I had it or not. I think.
Well, sometimes, people do have overactive sweat glands that make their feet smell. There was one guy that I used to know, and oh my God, we used to ban him because you could smell his feet even through his trainers, and it didn't matter how much he washed his feet. And it turned out he had an overactive sweat gland.
And that's actually in the feet, it is then, is it? I suppose it would be, wouldn't it? I must say, since I started doing all my walking, I have to shower or at least wash my feet more often than I used to. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They definitely smell more than they used to. Awful.
Well, as long as you change your socks regularly, you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's very important. And you don't want that bleeding stuff in between your toes, athlete's feet. Oh, it's horrible, that is. Itchy. You've got to get that special spray, haven't you?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, an athlete will probably be a bit too big for my feet. I'm only a size 3.
Oh, Claricea.
I wouldn't like anything or anyone between my feet, thank you.
What we chatting?
My toes, come to think of it.
Eh?
Or me toes, come to think of it.
Have you got little feet? Size 3, did you say? That's tiny, isn't it? Tiny little
it's
ballet
brilliant.
feet. Did you do ballet?
So easy. No, I didn't do ballet and that, but I tell you what, it's cheap on shoes and trainers and stuff because I can get kiddie size and get away with it. Woohoo!
What you calling in about tonight, my lady?
We were just talking about cats and stuff and vets and everything, weren't we?
Yeah.
And that. I never had a problem with any of my cats down at the vets. They were pretty good, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I did have one evil cat, though. His name was Shamrock.
Shamrock the cat, go on.
Yeah, Shamrock. He was a big, fluffy tabby cat.
Was he?
And he come along with his sister, Shillelagh.
Shillelagh? Well, they've got some
Yeah,
good
Shillelagh.
names, your cats, haven't they?
Oh, I know. And I love unusual names for my cats, I do. And that. But Shamrock, I was actually quite wary of him. You could always tell when he was going to go for you because you had this look in your eye.
Evil. Was it
And
evil?
God forbid, he was evil.
But they have. That's the thing with cats. You can tell when they're angry or when they're about to do something. I've realised that.
Yeah, but Shamrock, he could hold a grudge. He could.
Could he?
I'm telling you. Oh, yeah, you tell him off for something and he would size you up and he'd bide his time.
Right.
He would. And that. And it could be like 2 or 3 days afterwards.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it would just jump on you and you're like, what the hell? And then it'd be like, because I told you off a few days ago. That's why.
What you reckon they remembered what that you told them off?
Oh, yeah, he could hold a grudge, that one, I'm telling you.
How funny is that? Gosh.
You know, pretty intelligent, the old animals are.
My nephew's got 2 cats, a beautiful black... Do you know people don't buy black cats? And do you know why? Because apparently they don't look very good in photographs. Isn't that awful?
Oh, I've heard that. It's crap.
Isn't that awful?
No.
My nephew's got a beautiful black cat called Rocky. And he's funny.
Aww.
He's got 2 cats. There's Rocky and Bella. Bella's a tabby. And the black cat, Rocky, he wants to be stroked and petted. And he will come up, jump on your lap, and demand to be stroked. And he's all right while you're stroking him away and everything's fine. If you stop stroking him, he will bite you to start stroking him again. I kid you not.
Oh, bless him.
And isn't it funny?
You do know that?
Isn't it funny?
You know that
Sorry, go on.
Bella in Italian it actually means beautiful.
Does it? Well, Bella's
Yes.
Bella's the tabby cat. She will jump up and you can stroke her, and then, as with many cats, suddenly their mood changes, and it changes in a split second. And 1 minute these things are purring away, and then the second minute they've put 2 paws around you and are biting your finger, aren't they?
Oh, I've had that every now and again. I have, but you know, it's mostly play fighting, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It just amazes me how they wake up instantly. You know when you wake up in the morning, you don't suddenly bang you're awake, do you? It takes a while, doesn't it?
It takes me a coffee and a cigarette, and
Right.
then I start feeling human again.
But even like when you wake up in bed, you don't suddenly spring out of bed. Cats can go from completely fast asleep to absolutely wide awake in an instant. They suddenly jump up, especially if you frighten them. But they do get used to you, don't they, and what you do. Now, my cat Katie, she wouldn't be bothered by the Hoover or even the lawnmower. I could be out cutting the grass with my lawnmower and she'd be there sitting in the middle of the lawn, and I would have to physically move her because she wouldn't be bothered by it. Funny, isn't they?
I know it's weird though, but then again, I guess that's kind of like the wild instinct in them, isn't it? They're always alert.
Yeah, I suppose so. When you see some of these lions, there's some beautiful tiger videos on TikTok of keepers. You know, tigers and their keepers, and how they become close friends. And you know, you've got this massive tiger in some sort of enclosure. I don't like cages. I don't like zoos or anything like that. In actual fact, even like the wildlife parks, to me, they're still enclosed. But I mean, nowhere near as bad as a zoo or something like that. And these keepers actually seem to become almost their pets. But, you know, if a domestic cat suddenly attacks you for no reason, if it's a tiger, it's a little bit more serious, isn't it?
Well, considering you could probably either lose a limb or probably your life, then yeah, I'd say it would be pretty serious. But then again, have you seen the movie Born Free with Elsa?
Oh, Elsa, yeah, what a beautiful film that is. Shall we sing it
isn't
together?
it
Go on, sing it.
gorgeous?
Sing it for me, Claricea. Sing it for me.
No, you will not get me singing.
Born free, as free as the wind blows. I love it. I haven't seen that for years, that film.
I know, but then they done the follow-up, didn't they? Living Free, because they followed Elsa's cubs.
That's right. I remember that. Is that 1960s, that film? Both of those films?
I know it was before my time, but I watched them every now and again, and I still absolutely love them.
Yeah.
I do in that, but, you know.
Nice.
But no, I've never agreed with animals being used.
No,
I mean, you see them in circuses and stuff, and it's like, no. And I would never go to a circus if there was any animals in it. I refused.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's the same as what you see in other countries. You see these performing monkeys and
it's
bears
not
and
right,
stuff.
is it?
And I just had to turn off. I'm like, no, not seeing that. Don't want to know. Can't handle it.
And the elephants as well. And they go back into their little cave. I mean, it's just awful. It's awful.
Oh, God, yeah.
I've seen some terrible videos of circuses and like bears, and they got that great big ring in their nose, and it breaks my heart to see them like that. I wouldn't go to a zoo with animals, really. What do they do in zoos now? Because presumably they're not allowed to have animals like that anymore, are they, or what? I don't know how that works.
I know it's gradually been outlawed, which is a good thing, but it's just not happening fast enough.
Yeah. I just wonder what they put on in circuses now. What do they do? Oh, they got the acrobats, haven't they? Acrobats is always good, isn't it? I'm always amazed by these people flying off bars and being caught by someone else by their hands or their legs and that, and with no net underneath them often. Very, very clever.
Now, your definition of circus is probably a little bit different than mine. It is, and that because I don't go for traditional circuses, unfortunately, and that I'm more into something called the Circus of Horrors.
Tell us more.
Oh God, I first met these guys, Dr. Hayes, and at Download Festival, and it's like a traditional freak show sort of thing, back for like P.T. Barnum.
Sorry,
and,
like
Dr.
who?
Huh?
Like who?
P.T. Barnum.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
He used to run a circus. Have you seen The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman?
I haven't, no. For some reason, that just didn't appeal to me, and I don't know why.
Ah, right. Well, Circus of Horrors, was put together by a guy called Dr. Hayes.
Yes.
And he wanted weirdness in his show. And he scattered all over the world and everything like that, and he got a few people in. And it's like you've got this guy, and he's a sword swallower. So he swallows swords, and then you've got this lady who's a contortionist, and she can fit in like glass jars on this podium and stuff, and
wow.
it's amazing. And you've got fire eaters, fire blowers, and it's all set to rock music, and it is awesome. So they're the kind of circuses that I like, like a freak show sort of thing.
Yeah,
but they're so friendly, it's unbelievable. You have a right laugh with them.
Do they travel the country? Do they? Those what?
Circus of Horrors is actually travelling at the moment.
Isn't that funny? I've never ever heard of that. Never ever heard of Circus of Horrors.
Nor had I. And yet they've been to Manchester God knows how many times, and I never knew about them until I went to Download a couple of years ago. And now I'm booked in to see them down in London at Clapham.
When is that?
That is it's supposed to be in March. Whether it's going to happen or not, I have no idea.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that one, my love. I honestly can't see that happening.
On Thursday, the 25th of March.
I mean, I think you'd be very lucky to be able to see that. I can't see it happening, but I might be wrong. I mean, I've got a Barry Manilow concert in June, and quite frankly, I don't think that's going to happen either.
Oh well, we live in hope, don't we?
Yeah, we do live in hope.
Again,
yeah,
you just have to roll with the punches and that. And
maybe we'll all have the injection by then. I don't know when your when I'll be getting mine. I've no idea. And apparently there's some sort of table and you can look it up and see when you're roughly going to get yours. But you get all those groups. Sorry to sort of change the subject here. I'm getting fed up seeing all these groups pop up everywhere on Facebook and all that. All these various different groups. We should get the vaccination first. Oh, no, it should be us. No, it should be us. Oh, for Christ's sake, just wait your bloody turn and be patient. The people screaming and shouting, we should get ours first because of this. We should get ours first because of that. I tell you what, I think the first people to have had that vaccination should have been the doctors and nurses, to be honest.
Yeah, the frontline workers.
Yeah, absolutely. Even before the old people.
Workers.
Even before the older people. I think they should have got theirs first. But I keep seeing these groups come up on Facebook and they always put them on the blooming BBC breakfast time. Christ, that show's getting more and more depressing. I kid you not, every morning at round about 5 to 8, because I flip through these news stories, see if I can pick anything up ready for the radio show, you see. Every morning at 5 to 8, I guarantee you there'll be some bloody depressing story. And no disrespect to people with disabilities, as in proper disabilities, not people that pretend they've got something wrong with them. And there's plenty of those out there claiming. As you know, we all know those people, right? People with genuine disabilities. I understand that. But for Christ's sake, every morning at about 5 to 8 on the telly, there's someone else who's just gone for a run with one leg, or someone who's just had his sight restored. And I'm thinking, I just want something happy in the morning. I don't want to see these stories. And it's at the same time every day. And there's nothing to sort of balancing up to make you like a feel-good story on there,
Me, I don't even bother with the news anymore. Not interested. Nothing interests me. I just let the world roll on by.
You're not the only one.
I do.
You're not the only one. There's a lot of people like that. My sister's one. She don't want to know the news at all. And, whatever. I must admit, I don't watch it as much as I used to. Like today, I can't tell you what's happened today. I don't know. I'll probably watch the 10 o'clock news or part of it. What tends to happen is that I'm not led by TV schedules anymore, So the 10 o'clock news, I'll go on the iPlayer when I've got my cup of tea and I'm sitting down there quite comfortable, and I'll restart it from the beginning. I'll watch the headlines. I might come straight out after headlines and be done with it. Like at 2 minutes past 10. Do you know what I mean? Or if there's an interesting story I think might be coming up, I might look at the coronavirus numbers. I might look at the coronavirus numbers and see how that's doing, in the hope that they've dropped again or whatever. But I like... Do you know what I like on the news? I like stories about renewable energy. And technology type things. I like to hear about people that perhaps have been cured from a new medical
breakthrough.
Yeah, things like that. That's the sort of thing. Sports news, I tell you what, when they say, and now the sports, they don't get to the word news before I've hit the changeover button. I can't bear it. I don't believe there's that many people who watch the sports news. I can't believe it. It's so boring.
I don't bother with any of it.
It's absolutely boring. It really is. But
no.
I bet in actual fact, and I'm nowhere near a football fan. My nephew's a big football fan. Jimmy, he's the one who's 20. I think he's 22 now or 23 now. And the older nephew likes it as well. And even my great nephew Harry, he plays football.
Do you know what? I'm probably going to annoy everyone. I'm going to be watching the chat closely now when I say this.
Yeah.
Football, no.
No, not for you at all.
Overrated, little pansies running around, overrated, overpaid. Give me a decent man's rugby. No, that is a man's sport. Give me rugby over football any day.
Well, I used to play rugby at school. I wasn't in the school team, but I was in our house team. I did play rugby at school. And funnily enough, I didn't really come into my own until I was in the 5th year. The rest of when I was in my 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th year, I was one of those that used to just hang around the side, hoping not to get involved in anything, you know what I mean? But I got to in the 5th year and suddenly I just, for whatever reason, I became interested. And I started grabbing the ball and, what's he doing? Is that Reardon grabbing the ball? Why is he running? And suddenly I was like in, and of course, but unfortunately I hadn't taken much notice of all the rules in the previous years. I didn't really know what I was doing, and often the whistle would blow. But the teacher seemed to pick this up on me, and he would, although he'd blow his whistle, he'd come over and tell me what I'd done wrong, and that was okay. But I was only any good at it for like perhaps a couple of months, and then of course I finished school. But what about your boys? Are they not into football then?
No, Joe and Damien, when we used to live in Wiltshire, they used to play rugby there for the local team.
Right.
And Damien used to be prop because he's a big lad, he is.
Right.
And because Joe was so fast, he used to be fly.
Oh yes.
He used to be a runner. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was full back. I was right at the back there. But a couple of times I grabbed the ball once and run right the way through and scored. I'm very proud of that. Only once I did. Have you got girls as well?
Just one.
How old is she?
My little Serenity, bless her heart, she's 4.
Oh, 4. Okay, so she's not really
No.
into anything like that at all. Maybe she'd be the footballer. Presumably, did any of your boys go to the university or not?
No.
I mean, I
moved up
didn't.
here to Manchester, we did.
I didn't. I only ask that because I think the sport in universities is rugby, isn't it? You only ever really hear about. You never hear about university football teams, do you? It's always rugby universities, isn't it? And cricket.
Normally.
Cricket.
Don't do cricket.
Do you like? Oh Christ! Isn't that the most boring game ever?
Boring.
And what's going on? How the hell do you know who's winning? Yes, and England are scoring 35 tries for 55 wickets and 17,000 runs. What does that mean?
Unders and overs, it's like, what the hell are you lot just talking about? Wombles?
What does it mean?
I have no idea. Can I just say something quickly, Chris? Fran Green, it says, if you like Scary, the after show review, which, if nobody realises now, is me.
Yeah.
You want to go to Blackpool Dungeon. That is scary, but needs to be done. Now, many years ago, a co-presenter of mine that I used to present with on Tameside Radio, James Dean, he actually used to work in Blackpool in the Tunnel of Terror.
Oh, that sounds a bit scary. Is it like a ghost train type thing?
Well, what it is that you go through this tunnel and you can't stop. You can't go backwards. You have to keep on moving forwards.
Right.
And it's in total darkness, but they got real people there that actually come out at you and everything, and they scare you and stuff. Now, James actually used to play the Exorcist girl.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And I've heard all about it. I have, and everything like that, But there is a similar one in London. It's called the London Bridge Experience.
Oh, I've been to that. I went.
Yeah, that I went to, that me, my friend Lorraine and the whole gang of us went. And it's basically on the same thing, but right at the end, you hear this noise, and my friend Maria was in front, and she kept on stalling. I'm like, Maria, keep walking. Just keep walking. She's like, I can't. And I was pushing her all the way through. I'm like, you have to keep walking. She's like, what's that sound? And all of a sudden we just, but I'm not going to say anything in case people haven't been there, but it is really good fun. It is. Now, if you want to scare anything, go to one of those. They are brilliant.
Is that similar to the London Dungeon?
London... What the hell are you doing, you dumb cat? Get out from there. Move.
What was it doing?
About to knock over me, just crawled underneath the duvet and about to knock me laptop over. That's enough.
We went to, I think I was with my sister and her family many years ago. I can't remember this, but we went to go to it may have been someone else. I can't remember. We went to go to the London Dungeon, but the queue was a mile long waiting to get in here. And then we saw the London Bridge Experience. So we crossed over the road and there was no queue there at all. I am going back here about 15 years. And we paid our money and went in. Yeah, it was my sister. Because I remember Jimmy. Jimmy was only little then, I think maybe about 12, something like that. And I remember because I bought him some sweets. Well, I was going to buy sweets, and we filled up this bag, and it comes with the most ridiculous amount of money. This, this pick and mix, bit like the pick and mix in cinemas. You can do some serious money getting pick and mix in some places, and it was just silly money. And I said, no, we'll have to put some of that back. That's ridiculous.
I did.
And I think it would come to something like £8. And as I say, this was a long time ago. And I said, oh, I'm not paying that. You'll have to put something back. He said, oh, well, what do you want to pay for that? I said, well, £5. Okay, I'll take a £5 off you. Okay, fair enough. And we went in there, and frankly, we were disappointed. We didn't enjoy it at all. We just didn't get into it. And there was a bloke, and it stunk of petrol because, of course, one of the... You know what I'm going to say here, don't you? One of the people that had these things, they had a chainsaw, and suddenly they started up. But we weren't kind of scared at all because we really knew that nothing could happen to us. You know what I mean? Maybe now and again they should have, just killed someone in there, and that would have made it a little bit more authentic.
See, now that's why they tell you in the tunnel, yeah? Because, right, okay, at the end, yeah, you do get a guy come out with a chainsaw and everything like that, yeah.
Yes.
That's why they tell you to keep moving forward, not to stop and not to go backwards.
What, in case he's waiting for you behind you?
No, in case he accidentally catches you with a bleeding chainsaw.
I remember it was very, very dark in there. I mean, really dark, wasn't it? Gosh. Yeah, let me do one of these stories with you. And perhaps you can answer this. It's in the Daily Mirror. And this bloke, he's had a sandwich. A man has sparked a fierce debate online for his fish finger sandwich with pizza bread, which some people say is a genius, and others say deserves to be in a bin. And that's it. He had four fish fingers sandwiched between a microwavable pizza, and then cut it into two halves, which simply captions fish finger sandwich with pizza bread, which actually I must admit sounds quite nice to me. In fact, I think I'm going to have now that I've seen that, I fancy a sausage sandwich for dinner tonight. I'm going to have a sausage sandwich for dinner. Have you ever had, what's your sandwich to go there, Claricea?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't mind a fish finger sandwich as long as it's got salad cream on it, but definitely got to be a chip butty.
Oh, a chip! You like a chip butty, do you? Chips between the...
chip butty, definitely a chip butty.
And not with McDonald's chips either. Would you have McDonald's?
Oh God, no.
I wonder if anyone has those, like McDonald's, or they would be called a fries chip butty, wouldn't they? Fries.
There would be, yeah, but, I don't know. To be honest with you, they go cold too quickly.
Oh, they do, especially if you deliver. I had one delivered Friday. Of course, it's travelling. That's why there's nothing they can do about that. But it doesn't come here stone cold, but they're kind of tepid. Not even warm. They're like tepid. I have. And I want to get out of that habit. What's been happening is that on Friday, for whatever reason on Friday, I now get a McDonald's, and it's all right once a week, I suppose.
Man.
I know. Do you have much of that? Do you eat that much?
Nope.
How many times?
Well, no, I don't really do McDonald's and stuff like that.
Right. You cook all yourself, do you?
No, I try to eat as healthy as I possibly can, but, But where I am, at the bridge, there's a kebab place.
Is there?
Called Salim's.
Right.
And they do a thing called the Salim's Challenge.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, next time I get one, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you.
Is it big?
And it weighs this, well, put it this way, let me see, he was £9 11 ounces when he was born. I'd say the Salim's Challenge probably weighs around £9 11 ounces.
Blimey. And that's
seriously, it's just like doner meat with salad and mayo on it, with chunks of chicken kebab and chicken tikka and lamb tikka.
Wow. Well, you said
that
so.
Lasts me about 2-3 days.
You feel you get your money's worth there, do you? I must say, when I came up to Manchester, and I've only been once. What's the name of the road? What's the name of the road all the pubs are on? The gay pubs. Canal Street, isn't it? Canal Street. There was
Canal Street. you've been up to Manchester more than once, my darling, because that's how me and you met.
Yeah, no, I've only been once.
You came to Ashton, didn't you?
That's right. That's the only time I ever went. I was I was there, I think, for 2 nights. The first night, and I came up there to do DJ, and I think it was a charity event, which I did for nothing.
It was at Sean, at Mint Bar.
What was it called?
Opening night.
What's it called?
Mint. It was at the Mint Bar.
I can't remember the name of it, to be honest. But
No,
anyway,
Mint Bar, 'cause
yeah.
I've still got the photographs.
Yeah. Have you? Oh, am I in them?
Of course you are.
Oh, you couldn't send them across, could you, on the Facebook? Could you do that for me? Or
Yeah, let me have a look and everything like that, and
I'd appreciate that, because I don't have any photos of that. I haven't got any photos of that. It was a charity event. I remember I said I'd come up and do it for nothing, but I will have to. You'll have to put us up in a hotel, any old cheap hotel. I said that'd be fine, and he said all right. And he ended up putting us up in this really posh. It was very dated, but nevertheless, it came across as being like the main hotel in Manchester. Do you know what that was called?
I'm not sure. The main one that I used to know is the Ramada, but it used to be called something else.
It had a music shop opposite it selling instruments.
Oh, I know what you mean. I think that might have been the Ramada.
It could have been. It might well have been, but you went in there and it was one of those. I thought, my God, look at this in here, and it had the big staircase going up it in the middle, and the chandeliers hanging down. I thought, well, this is nice. But then I got in the room and I thought, blimey, this is a bit dated in here. But nevertheless, that's where he put me for the first night, and the second night I went in this place which was a bit like more of a motel, all on one level, and I was in there on, what was it, maybe the Saturday or the Sunday night, because I was up there for a couple of days, weren't I? Or maybe one night. No, it was 2 nights. I was up there 2 nights. And the second night was in this motel. And I remember going to check in. And all I can remember is being surrounded by lots of young people in tracksuits. And I thought, blimey, this is a right old knocking shop they've put me in here. Who had obviously gone there and taken their girlfriends away for a dirty weekend. But yeah, and it was Ashton under Lyme, wasn't it? Ashton under Lyme?
It was, yeah.
Yes, I remember now.
Sean owned the Mint Bar back then.
Right, I remember. So where the Canal Street was, and I mentioned that because there was a burger place. And you had to go downstairs, I think, to get into this burger place. Now, what did I have in there? I think I was eating dead animals at the time, so I think I had a hot dog or a burger and chips. And it was massive. It was like a massive portion. And I thought, and when they said, and it's like 50 pence, please, or whatever it was, I thought, blimey, that's half the price of what I'd be paying in London for something like that. I was very impressed. It was like a greasy burger place. Do you know where it was? I think it was on a corner. So long ago. I'm sure
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't really go Canal Street, to be honest with you.
I bet James.
I used to go to AXM because that's where Madame Mary's used to work.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
And that, and then there was Miss Asbo,
right,
and Trixie, and I know they were at Churchill's,
right,
and I can't remember the other one either, where they used to perform in that. But no, I don't really go up there, to be honest, that much.
No.
To be, you know.
Yeah.
That, but you know, but no, Manchester's full of fast food places. They are.
Yeah. It was a nice little job. It wasn't that busy, was it? Unfortunately, it didn't raise that much money, but you know, we'd done it and we'd done our thing, so I mean that was fun.
Oh, we had a good laugh.
Is it still open, that place?
No, it didn't last that long, to be honest with you.
Did it not? In the wrong place? I think it was in the wrong place, to be honest, wasn't it?
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But it was a good night, though. I had a great time.
That was a good laugh, wasn't it? Yeah.
You know, I just can't wait to be able to start like Freedom again and that, and then come down London, and then me and Lorraine and the rest of the gang are going to come and crash you at karaoke.
Well, I hope. I don't know if I'll be able to get that job back, unfortunately. But fingers crossed it'll come back to me. What happened there is they wanted to put it on again in between the 2 lockdowns, And I've just been so kept worried about all this virus thing, and I said no. I'm not ready to come back yet. So they got someone else in now. As luck would have it, the job didn't start because then it got closed down before it even started. However, because I said no and they got someone else ready to go, they may go with him, who's a friend of mine, incidentally. There's no animosity going on there at all. But I'm not so sure it's going to come back to me, so it may not be me. But I'll let you know whenever that happens. Whether that be in a couple of months
or night out, and it's like, you know, because you already know Lorraine. Because do you remember when you was doing a drag idol?
Yeah.
Yeah, when James and John come down doing Super Trashy.
Lorraine, was she quite a bubbly character?
Oh God,
loud.
Yes. You
was
know
she loud?
Lorraine, yeah.
I'm sure I would remember her.
Super Trashy, Super Trashy.
Super Trashy. I'm sure I would remember her. I'm sure I would.
Oh, you do. Once seen, never forgotten, Lorraine.
Happy
bless
days,
her.
my love. Happy days.
And that,
Claricea, you always do us a really good phone call. Thanks ever so much for calling in tonight, my darling.
All right, and sweetheart, you take care.
Have a lovely evening. Lots of love to you and the kids, all right? Bye-bye, love.
Love you. Bye.
There we are, Claricea in Manchester. We're all over the country, aren't we? Lines are closed now, boys and girls. No more calls today because I can't believe it's 10 o'clock already, dear. 10 o'clock. And that gone quick, so I'm going to disappear here. Let me just show you this. It was in the Sun this morning. Anyone watch Bridgerton? If you haven't, it's on Netflix. It's kind of it's an old-fashioned, kind of set in the same sort of time as Downton Abbey, but it's not really like Downton Abbey. And I enjoyed it. There's only about 8 of them, or 6 or 8 of them. It's a series, as I say, on Netflix. And they made a bit of a mistake, which has been in the Sun this morning. It says, Bridgerton fans, it's taken them a while to spot this, I must say, because it's been on the telly for a few weeks now. Bridgerton fans spotted a huge blunder in the opening scene of the hit show with yellow lines painted along the road. Look at this. Sometimes when people are filming, they don't check it out properly, do they? The drama, which is set in 1813, showed horse-drawn carriages rattling past the very modern parking controls. One viewer joked, "I didn't realise the 19th century Brits were such pioneers." So there we are. I mean, I must say I didn't notice it. You know, you do get people, I think, looking for faults all the time, and they're always so quick to point them out, aren't they? What I love is when people point out faults or things that they think you've done wrong. For example, in Bridgerton there, and they are wrong. I enjoy then telling them in not so many words. No, you want to pay full attention to what's going on, then you might actually get it right, rather than looking completely and utterly stupid. But there we are. I must admit, I never noticed the yellow lines on there. All right, gang, we're finished now, gang. Our next live chat show will be with you on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on this channel. If you could copy and paste the show to your various walls and that, get a few more people involved, that would be quite nice, okay? So once again, our next chat show will be Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. I'll be here tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10 for an hour of music, chat and fun. We do have such a good time doing the music and chat show in the morning, 9 till 10, Monday to Friday. You can listen on smart speaker. If you can just tell your Google smart speaker, play Reach on Air. You can tell Our Lady on Apple, Our Lady Siri. You can tell her, play Reach on Air. If you've got an Amazon device, you need to enable the skill first, okay? Enable the skill, Reach on Air. Just go to your skills, search for Reach on Air. You'll find it there. Enable that, close the app, and then you'll be able to just say to your Amazon, Amazon, play Reach on Air, whatever word you've got set for her. Okay? Thanks very much to Weird City Citizen and indeed Stephen Petty for sending a couple of tips tonight. It's very, very kind of you to do so. All right? And thank you very much for watching and listening. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Don't go. There's a new closing video for the winter. Are you ready? And new music as well. Where have I put that on here? There it is. Winter close. I hope you like this. Took me ages to do this afternoon. And the first time I did it, I finished it, saved it, uploaded it to a little private area of YouTube because I like to look at it on the big telly before I use it so I know it looks all right. And I watched it once. I thought, I'm sure I've used the same clip twice, and I watched it back again. And when you put one of these videos together, there's loads of clips, 30, 40, 50 clips, and I choose them and put them together, you see. And then I time it so it changes with the beat of the music. You've got the music at the bottom. And I'd use the same clip twice. And I thought, no. And I rang up my sister. I've used the same clip twice. She said, they won't notice. I said, they bloody well will. Someone will notice it and will take great pleasure in sending me a message. Oh, you used the same clip twice. So I came up and I had to do it all over again. But I hope you like it. I do make an appearance at the end. All right? So I hope you like our new winter closing video. See you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, reach on air. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. Good night now.